As of August 2022, the current inflation rate in Canada is at 8%. Last year's inflation rate was around 4%, which means that the prices of goods are more than doubled from last year. What does this data tell us? It tells us that over time, the basic necessities will become more and more expensive. That's why it is important to learn how to save money as international students in Canada. And that is exactly why I'm doing this video today. I'll be sharing with you 5 tips on how you can save money as international students. I also have a bonus tip at the end of this video, so make sure you watch this video to the very end. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If this is your first time here and we have not met, my name is Roslyn. I'm passionate about sharing immigration tips for prospective and current international students here in Canada. Today, I would like to talk to you about money. 5 ways that you can save money as international students in Canada. Oftentimes, when you move to a new country, the cost of living tends to be very high, especially in Canada. And as international students, you want to save for some money here and there. The first thing I encourage you guys to do is to research your costs. Look at all the provinces in Canada. Try as much as possible to learn how much the cost of living in this province. There are free resources online that you can access to be able to know how much the cost of living in each province in Canada is, so that you can make your decision based on this information that you have gathered. So on rent, in terms of accommodation, the first rule of thumb as international student that I will tell people is that try as much as possible to live off campus, because it's way cheaper to live off campus. And when you live off campus, it's also even better to choose accommodations that is shared. Like for instance, if you are able to share a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 other people, you are going to be saving costs in a great way. So that's my first rule of thumb. When you want to get your accommodation, number 1, it has to be off campus, and number 2, it has to be shared accommodation. That way you can save money on rent, because the rent expense is the highest monthly expense that you should expect to spend in Canada. Food is the next expense that I believe is usually high for international students. So one of the tips I have for you is that when you are going for groceries, make sure that you hold your student ID. Some of these local businesses actually offer student discounts to students. If you can show them your student ID, you might qualify for some discounts. Discount might not be significant, but it's still something. You're still saving a little bit of money if you show your student ID. So another thing that I will employ you guys to do is, before you make any purchase, try and compare prices within stores. Do your comparison and choose the one that gives you the best deal. I also encourage you guys to eat home-made meals as much as you can, because buying food can be quite expensive as well. But if you absolutely have to eat out, try couponing. There are some times that you have flyers in your mailbox that you have coupons for different restaurants that you can choose from. If you have a favorite restaurant, ensure that you download the app of that restaurant, because they might likely give you personalized offers which you can use to get food at a cheaper rate. So that's my advice for you on food. The third tip I'm going to be talking to you guys about is on transportation. So one thing I used to tell international students is to make sure that you live as close to the campus as possible, because owning a car in Canada is quite expensive. There are so many other costs associated with owning a car in Canada. You have to buy gas, you have to pay for monthly insurance, and you also have to save some money for maintenance, because you don't know when the car is going to give up on you, right? Well, except you're buying a new car. But if you have to buy second-hand car, you might have to have some money set aside for maintenance. If you can't live very close to campus, maybe because the houses are not available, public transportation is another good alternative for you. In my province, students pay lesser for the public pass than other adults. Your student ID is a very, very powerful card when you are a student. If you absolutely have to buy a card, when you are talking to your insurance company, let them know that you are a student, and they will see if they have partner program with your university or college. The fourth tip I'd like to talk about today is to use your resources wisely. As students, like I said in my previous point, your student ID is a very powerful ID. There are usually discounted services offered by your universities, and you can only get this information if you seek it, right? So let's take for instance, in the province of New Brunswick, you don't have access to dental health care through the healthcare card provided by the province. But as a student, most universities have dental coverages that are discounted for students. The fifth tip that I have for you today, guys, is to learn about the credit system in Canada. Avoid debt as much as possible. When you get to Canada as an international student, after you open your bank account, you are likely going to be offered a credit card. Don't consider credit cards as free money. because you have to learn how the credit card system works and don't get into debt. Try as much as possible to live within your means. Let that be your logo. The last thing that I would like to mention is the fact that not every sale is actually a sale. Make sure you do a price comparison before you make the purchase, because they might tell you it's on sale, but at the end of the day, that might be the actual price of the thing. As a bonus point, I'd like to mention that you should learn to be organized. Organized in the sense that you have to try as much as possible to make a budget and stick to it. Track your expenses so that you can know where your money is going to and also where your income is coming from on a monthly basis. Because if you know how to do all these things, your future self will thank you. This will bring me to the end of the video, guys. I hope to see you in Canada soon. And if you're already in Canada, we are looking forward to connecting with you guys. You can follow us on all the social media platforms. It's basically the same handle, which is Sisters of Canada. Thank you for watching this video once again, and have a wonderful week.